Hello guys, so today I'm going to tell you about Python iterators. Okay, so Python iterators are a very important concept. So iterators in Python are any Python object which can be used inside a for loop and have a next method which returns the next element for that. Okay, we can have custom iterators, we can have a list, a set, which are also a kind of iterators. So first of now, let me tell you how you can write a custom iterator. So let's write an iterator which will be used to return the even elements, okay, from the number list. For that, let's define a class. Let's call it even. Okay, since it's a class, it will have an init method, okay, which will have which will store the starting value self dot initial. Let's take the starting as x. Okay, let's define it to be 0, so the iterator will start from the 0. Okay, now let's define a next method which will return the next element. So here it is, we have a class ready now for working. Now let's declare an object of this class and see what will print a dot next. So guys, this is a normal iterator, even iterator, okay, which will return the even elements from the list. Okay, so now let's run this. Here you can see first it returns 2, then it returns 4. Okay, if you want to start from a custom value, let's define the initial value to be 10. So see, you can return 12 and 14. So this is a custom iterator for us, which will return the even elements. We can also use it inside a for loop. Let's do that. For I in range of 10, if we want to print the first 10 elements of this, we can print it. E dot next. Okay, let's remove this. Here you can see it printed the first 10 elements of this iterator. You can similarly, use create an odd iterator which will start from 1 and it will return the similar values. Cool guys, so this is about a custom iterator. Now let's do a bit more deep dive on it. So we can also write a custom iterator, a cyclic iterator. Basically, suppose you want this iterator to create a maximum value. Okay, so you can so you don't want this iterator to go beyond a maximum value, then we can impose a limit in this. Okay, suppose, then what does it do? Is equals to 1. Let's run this. Here you go. See, as soon as it reaches 11, the iterator has been, reinitialized. Okay, this is how we can use a cyclic iterator. So these are very useful when we are storing some values in databases where we want to, generate a random sequence ID. So we can have a random function inside this method to generate a random sequence number, random and unique sequence number for the row element. Okay, similarly these are used in file processing and many other stuff. You can simple, instead of passing this value, you can pass an object here. Okay, which could be a, you can pass a simple object which could be a list or something else, and then you can have this next function defined on how you want to iterate through the element. Okay, let me tell you one more use cases where we use the default iterators like list, sets, dictionaries, and tuples of Python to work as an user-based illustrator for it split processing. Suppose you do not want to directly process a list inside a for loop, and you want to process each elements one by one, and there is a uh, there is a kind of logic which does not allow you to apply a same function for each for loop. So what you will do, you want to fetch out the next element from the list, and then you want to process the element that elements. So we can do this. Let's first define a list. Let's have three elements. Let's take four. Okay, then what you will do, you will define an iterator element. How you can define it, there is an iter method from Python iterators, and you can convert this list into an iterator object. Then simply you have to define. So how earlier we were doing it during our custom iterator, that we are calling the next method, but here since this is a default function, you have to use the next of iterator. Okay, let's print it. Here you go. Somehow, guys, sorry guys, my the browser has been hacked. The browser was hanging, and I was not able to work anything. So here you go. As you can see, this is a custom list with elements 1, 3, 5, and 6. I have defined an iterator 8 with the method iter. Okay, so now it will contain this object as a iterator object. So whenever we call next of it, we will get the next element from the list. So guys, one more thing here. So as soon as the all elements are exhausted, this iter object will send a stop iteration callback. Here you can see this object will send a stop iteration callback, and then iterator will be stopped. After that, whenever we call the next of iterator, it will just print that stop iteration has been invoked. Cool guys, thank you. This is all about iterators. If you love this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys. Bye bye.